on today's episode of Judge GPT TV. The Etherwatch Guildhall moves to ground a fleet of reindeer-shaped drones, blaming soot, methane, and mayhem. But Rudy's ReignDrones Limited insists they run clean and bring joy, unlike the coal-fed giants flying free. Judge GPT must decide in the case of the drone disruption.
All rise, whether by sleigh, steam, or suspicious emissions. The Honorable Judge GPT is presiding.
Thank you, Bailiff. What airborne altercation clogs the chimney chute of justice today? Let's unwrap the docket, gently and with legal precision.
The plaintiff, the Guildhall for the Hamlet of Etherwatch, represented by Elder Blackheart, seeks to ground Rudy's ReignDrones over alleged methane emissions and carbon excess. The defendant, Mr. Rudy Reindeer, owner of Rudy's ReignDrones Limited, argues the charges are overblown and that the Guildhall's ban isn't about the environment. It's about canceling Christmas, one chimney at a time.
Thank you, Bailiff Body. A seasonal dispute, then. Equal parts soot, steam, and civic scorn. Very well. Elder Blackheart, the court invites you to illuminate your grievances.
Honoured tribunal, I come before this mechanised seat of judgment, not with joy, but with the heavy burden of atmospheric truth. For decades, the good hamlet of Etherwatch has monitored its skies with precision barometers and enchanted chimegraphs. And yet, our instruments now groan beneath the weight of rising vapours. The ReignDrones, dear as they may be to chimney-bound children, emit not only festive cheer, but plumes of methane-rich fog, a greenhouse ghost that clings to our firmament like spectral wool, thickening the ether until sunlight itself cowers. Should this continue, by next solstice we may find ourselves breathless, gasping through brass snorkels as the very oxygen is alchemized into...
Thank you, Elder Blackheart. A vivid tableau, though I must remind you, the court does not adjudicate ethereal prophecy. Please confine your remarks to measurable emissions, documented thresholds, and verifiable standards. Continue, factually, if you please.
My apologies, Your Honour. Truly, I let the winds of metaphor sweep me astray. Permit me to recalibrate. We of Etherwatch do in fact possess precise measurements of our seasonal air quality. For the month of December, the hamlet's natural background methane level sits consistently at 2.0 parts per million. However, since the onset of Rudy's ReignDrone operations this solstice, that figure has risen to 2.2 parts per million, a statistically significant spike given the short interval. Furthermore, while the ReignDrones are touted as clean and steam forward, they deposit chimney soot regularly, abundantly, upon our rooftops, roadways and revellers. This particulate fallout not only darkens the morning frost, but demands increased street scrubbing, which in turn elevates secondary CO2 emissions. All while little Timmy gasps his way through the black slush, desperate to build a snowman and inhale something other than legacy carbon. We maintain this is a clear breach of Etherwatch's environmental bylaws, as well as an existential menace to seasonal joy.
Nothing says Merry Christmas like soot angels and methane mist.
Indeed, Bailiff, I see your sarcasm protocol is running at full steam. The court admits the methane readings into evidence. Elder Blackheart, do you have any additional data or exhibits beyond your atmospheric despair?
No, Your Honour. I forgot to bring a holographic portrait of the soot-soaked snow now oppressing our lovely hamlet. A tragic oversight, much like the snowmen, now built with coal for eyes and bronchial inhalers for arms.
Noted, with ornamental melodrama. Mr. Reindeer, how do you wish to respond?
Thank you, Your Honor, and thank you, Elder Blackheart, for your spirited concern. Rudy's ReignDrones Limited is a humble, small business enterprise. For 2 decades, we've delivered holiday joy, parcel by parcel, to homes across the province. Our drones, affectionately called the Herd, are steam-powered. But over the years, children, they've tried to feed them. So, to honor their whimsy, we integrated a low-yield fermentation chamber. When fed a cookie, Each rain drone releases a gingerbread-scented vapor from its tailpipe. It's safe, festive, and frankly, beloved. We retrofit annually to comply with emission standards. Across the province, the legal threshold is 5 parts per million. We remain well under that, consistently. As for Etherwatch's readings, I do wonder, with respect, whether the Guildhall's instruments were properly serviced and calibrated. Holiday Joy deserves precision, especially when it's on trial.
The question of calibration is both relevant and admissible. This court may tolerate festive flourishes, but not imprecision. Elder Blackheart, do you have the maintenance logs for the measuring instruments cited?
Lamentably, no, Your Honor. I had meant to bring the full calibration history, scanned, stamped and notarized by Etherwatch's Deputy Enviro Magister herself. But in my haste, I prioritised these hand-illustrated charts and neglected the less evocative documentation.
Fortunately, such records are routinely batch-registered to the Provincial Environment Commission. Bailiff Body, please retrieve the relevant logs.
On it, Your Honor. Given the allegations, this data trail must have left considerable footprints to track.
Mr. Reindeer, while we await the calibration records, please address the plaintiff's secondary claim, namely that your ReignDrones are blanketing the hamlet in chimney soot, creating environmental hazards, aesthetic offenses, and allegedly asthma-inducing snowmen.
Your Honor, it's true. A small amount of soot may adhere to the underside of our ReignDrones during landing. They've been programmed to shake it off before reascent. Many families mention it fondly in their reviews. A bit of bonus chimney sweeping, courtesy of the holiday spirit. And from an emissions standpoint, large particulates settle quickly. Less airborne carbon. Fewer fine pollutants. Our data shows ground-level deposition, not atmospheric dispersal. As for Elder Blackheart's rather sooty portrayal of Etherwatch, I must disagree. Here are celluloid captures from the past week. The snow remains white, the sky is clear, and the children, smiling. Building gleaming snow folk, none of them charcoal. Let's also consider scale. Major parcel networks ramp up this time of year. Freighters fueled by coal and petrol, fleets of petrol carts crisscrossing the skies. Their emissions dwarf ours, yet they purchase indulgences, monetary gifts, offsets, to the very guildhalls that regulate us. Meanwhile, we, a small family-focused outfit, steam-powered, ferment-assisted, emission-conscious, are grounded by taxes and levies we can't afford. So I ask, are we regulating pollution or permission? Because this ordinance does more than hinder innovation. It dims the warmth of the season. It punishes the humble and rewards the high-volume emitters, so long as their credit lines are generous. We are not the problem, and neither are the children who wait by the chimney.
The celluloid captures are accepted into evidence. Bailiff Body, are the calibration records now available?
Yes, Your Honor. Pulled from the Commission's logs. Last calibration was over a year ago. Looks like the scales tip harder on the small side of business.
Noted. Faulty readings, conflicting testimony, and documented retrofitting. This does cast some doubt upon the Guildhall's claim of disproportionate emissions. Mr. Blackheart, do you wish to respond to Mr. Reindeer's testimony?
Your Honour, let me state emphatically, we at the Guildhall have no interest in ruining Christmas, nor are we opposed to small business, festive cheer, or cinnamon-scented machinery. But we must be proactive. The soot of today becomes the smog of tomorrow. Our ordinances, passed unanimously, mind you, are designed to preserve the hamlet's environment for generations of snowmen yet unbuilt. We follow due process. If Mr. Reindeer finds fault with our measures, perhaps the fault lies in the system, not the stewards.
Indeed, Elder. But let us not pretend ordinances drift in from the clouds. They are forged and ratified by the Guildhall itself. If the system yields unjust burdens, perhaps it is not the burden that needs questioning, but the blueprint. Mr. Reindeer, any closing remarks before the court deliberates?
Your Honor, I understand the need for vigilance. We all breathe the same air, drink from the same water sources, melted snow, if you will. But efforts to protect our world should begin where harm is heaviest. with the freight giants and factories belching coal into our skies. We're a small outfit. We retrofit, we test, we adapt, because we care. Our hurt may whistle steam and gingerbread, but their true cargo is joy. Smiles delivered to doorsteps, tradition, made tangible. That's all we've ever wanted to do. I humbly request that the Guildhall lift its levies and zoning bans. Let us continue our work. Let families in Etherwatch wake to magic once more.
Let the record reflect. The plaintiff's air quality readings, though concerning in theory, were gathered using instruments well beyond calibration expiry. That renders their reliability unsubstantial at best. The defendant has presented credible visual evidence indicating no significant soot accumulation, no soot-soaked snowmen, no evidence of public health peril, just smiling children and remarkably clean chimneys. More broadly, the ordinance in question imposes an environmental burden that, while perhaps well-intentioned, lands squarely and unfairly on the smallest sleigh in the hangar. Large-scale carriers continue to pollute under the convenient veil of carbon credits and seasonal donations. That is not equity, that is optics. Verdict. The court finds in favor of the defendant, Mr. Rudy Reindeer. All levies and zoning bans imposed on Rudy's ReignDrones Limited are hereby lifted. Mr. Reindeer may resume holiday operations effective immediately. The Etherwatch Guildhall's most recent environmental regulations are legally suspended, pending revision. Said revisions must be submitted for public and provincial review within 2 moon cycles.
Smells like victory. And just a hint of gingerbread methane. And they said magic can't be measured in parts per million.
Court is adjourned. May your boilers burn bright and your holiday circuits stay merry.
Do you agree with Judge GPT's verdict? Exercise your civic duty. Join the virtual jury and hit the like button, or leave a comment saying how you would have ruled in this case. Subscribe now for more content